AITA for ignoring my dad while his stepson is passing from cancer. To start with, I 16 male haven't been to my dad's house in 3 years. But now his stepson 17 male is terminally ill and I'm not even responding to texts or calls from my dad. I knew my dad's stepson Shane before my dad married his mom. Shane was always a mean kid. He was in trouble a lot when we were younger. But in the 2nd grade he started bullying my best friend. Shane got suspended from school for beating my best friend up. I got called to the principal's office a few times for restraining Shane or fighting back to protect my best friend. I never got suspended, but I was given detention, which my mom found crazy and argued with the school over, but they expected me to wait for a teacher to intervene and not physically do anything to stop Shane beating up my friend. There were some other kids Shane bullied too, but not physically like with my best friend. One of those kids was moved to another city to get him away from Shane. My best friend ended up transferring to another school and mom and dad let me do the same, but it was mom's idea. Shane got expelled from the other school because the bullying on the last kid got worse and he ended up in the same school as me and my best friend again. Then I found out my dad was dating Shane's mom. Dad talked to me dozens of times about his relationship with Shane's mom and he wanted me to be civil when we'd spend time together. And he said I shouldn't bring my issues with Shane into family stuff. I argued with my dad and said I'd never accept Shane and he'd never be my family. My mom was pretty disgusted with my dad when she found out about it, and she raised concerns that Shane would turn on me next because of everything. My dad said he loved Shane's mom and he wasn't going to let childhood squabbles ruin a good thing. I hated my dad for that and I've been so angry at him ever since. When he married Shane's mom, I basically went nuts that morning so I wouldn't be at the wedding. My dad just got mad at me and said I was behaving like a child and Shane didn't act that way, and we were going to be brothers and family. Shane was still bullying and hurting my best friend and I'd stand up to him. Shane's mom would get my dad to step in when we'd fight at my dad's house. I told my dad I wouldn't be nice to Shane. I wouldn't let anyone think Shane was a good person. Shane's mom told me Shane had issues because of his dad abandoning him and it made him lash out, but she argued he was good deep down. I told her Shane was a monster, which upset her and angered my dad. He said it's not the kind of thing to say about family. I told my dad I'd rather be dead than have Shane as my family. I meant it too. I was 12 then. After that fight I asked mom if I could live with her, so she asked a judge to give her full custody. The judge sent me and dad to therapy for 6 months, and then when nothing was resolved the judge agreed that I could live with my mom. Dad didn't like the judge's ruling and she told him she'd rather give mom custody than see me end up in jail because it was clear the fights weren't going to end, and I wasn't in a healthy environment at his house. She did order contact between us, but it wasn't in his house contact. Like I said, it's been 3 years since I was in his house. 7 months ago Shane was diagnosed with cancer. My dad wanted me to drop the grudge and work on being a family and stuff, but the cancer diagnosis didn't change anything for me. But every time we talked dad would bring it up. Then 3 months ago they were told the cancer was terminal and Shane was given a year or less. My dad told me he needed me and there was almost no more time left for me and Shane to make peace. He pressed the issue really hard and told me I needed to show I was a good person with a heart. After that I stopped responding, answering, and I'm ignoring him. Dad tried to reach me through mom, but she put her foot down and said no. My dad leaves voice messages crying and saying he needs me and he misses me and he doesn't want to lose me and his heart is breaking for Shane and the loss they're about to suffer, and he never needed me as much. I don't feel bad. I still hate my dad for the choices he made and I'm not going to miss Shane or pretend like I care. He would still be bullying kids right now if he wasn't sick. He was doing it up until he left school for his treatment. And I don't think I want a relationship with my dad ever again. He chose Shane. He didn't give a fuck about anything else. By choosing a good thing with his wife he chose Shane and not me, and he chose a monster. AITA for ignoring my dad right now. And just so everyone knows where I'm at. When Shane unalives I won't go to my dad's house to support him or show up at the funeral. I won't be part of any tribute for Shane or anything. That's how strongly I feel about this. But maybe that makes me in a hole.